Okay. So good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. If this is your first time, like I always say, you're welcome here. We meet every last Friday of the month just to come together as women. So somebody might be asking, what is Pass the Baton? It's an online platform which women gather together, women, ladies, girls, whatever you want to call ourselves, to empower, to enlighten, and to rub minds on various issues that affect our everyday lives as women. So this is a vision that God gave to me, that a lot of women are taking, their batons back to the grave. So we all understood what happened during COVID. This actually started I think it was just a month before lockdown. And since then, we've been on, we've been thriving, and we've listened to each other share. And yes, if you're a man on the platform, I would say maybe you can watch later. I would rather, we're all girls here. We enjoy talking to each other. We do girl issues a lot. So thank you so much for supporting us. We appreciate you. We love you. But we would invite you Couples Day, and also we also invite you during Father's Day. So, but for tonight, we've got somebody who is actually coming together, coming again. She is not a first timer. So if you remember our last year, November, she spoke on the power of mindset. And if you want to watch that, you can go back to our YouTube channel and watch that. It was fantastic. She shared a lot on mindset. How, you think of mindset, and some people actually box mindset, but mindset is everything. It's the way you think, it's the way you make decisions, it's what you do daily, and it can affect so many things that we do. It affects our home, it affects our marriages, it affects our relationships, it affects our career life, it affects a lot of things. In fact, let me tell you the truth. If you're a Christian, because I'm a Christian and I do faith in everything that I do, it affects your Christian life as well, your prayer life. It does affect your thinking. Actually also helps to fuel your faith. It's kind of related and connected together, so it's a good thing. But now we're going to talk about money. We've been doing money series, and in January we did money series. February we obviously went to the couple, but now we're back on money series, and we're going to have this money series for I think till about May or June. No, till May. We're having money series. So please stay tuned. There's so much we can learn about money. There's so much we can understand about money. So she's going to teach us and how to harness, the power of the mind towards money. So she is my sister. She's a friend. She's a big sister. So Sister Tope, thank you so much for coming back. We appreciate you. You look glam. And yes, if you can just fire on. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. And like I said, ladies, if you've got a friend that you haven't seen online, it will be good for you to reach out to them and tell them that we have started. We have started. Thank you.
Thank you, sis. Thank God. And thank you very much, everyone. Family, we all are one big family, actually, including those guys all the way in China that brought us COVID. Apparently, we're all one big connected family. So thank you very much for being part of this, being part of our journey, because as my sister mentioned earlier, it's all about iron sharpening iron, because you have something I don't have. Once we rub our minds, we collaborate, we share, we rub minds, as I said, then, we all grow together. And I'm a Christian too, and that's what my Bible teaches me, that no man is an island, not in the Bible, but it's just a concept that just makes sense. So it just so happens that life has taught me some valuable lessons around the power of our mindset. So as my sister mentioned earlier, it pervades our being. The core of who we are is tied into how we set our mind. And that's why the Bible also says that in Proverbs, I'm not going to quote the Bible, it may be 4:23, but I leave that to the pastors in the house. Well, it tells us that we should guard our mind. We should guard, because that's where everything emanates from. How we respond to a situation, how we react, it all depends on how we set our mind. You may react a particular way today, and then if you recondition your mind, the same circumstance, when it presents itself, you may react very differently. Okay, so that's how powerful our mind is and our mindset effectively. So tonight, as my sister mentioned, because we went through financial literacy, actually the practical aspects of financial literacy, it's also important to learn about the power of our mind. Yeah. No matter how financially independent you aspire to be, if your mind is not set correctly around money and how you handle it or your relationship with it, you may find that you're not living the life you desire, you've earned or even deserve. Okay, so that's why I'm here tonight, just to share with us. But you know, this is going to be a very interactive session, so please strap yourselves in. Every one of us is going to have to contribute to this, because remember, it's all about rubbing minds. No one mindset is correct, because it fluctuates depending on experiences. And also we've got every one of us has something to bring to the table. Okay, so please do be prepared. And actually, on that note, I'm going to just give you a quote, and then I'm going to throw it open for us to take it in turns to define what the concept of a money mindset is to us. But first, let me just share a quote with you that I like to throw out there. So, all we do, all we say or think, who we are, how we show up and act, all comes from our mind and how and upon what it is set. It's all in the mind. It's all about your mindset. Because if you present yourself in a gathering and you look like, you don't even need to look like you don't belong. You just need to feel like you don't belong. Because you feel that way, you're going to generate an aura that's going to make other people begin to look at you as though you don't belong. But if you show up as your most authentic self, because your mindset is set like that, you know who you are, you know whose you are, like I do. I'm a child of God, first and foremost. I'm a mother, amongst other roles, right? But, if you know who you are, you show up like that. People are going to be wondering, who is that? Well, if you come in and you're looking at, oh, I have to go and hide, it shows. So that's why, this quote is it reminds me of the power of our mindset. Everything I do, who I show up as every day, is all about what I set my mind on. So if I set my mind on wearing yellow lipstick, like I'm doing today, rocking it with my top, that's just who I feel like being today. Just saying. Okay. So on that note, I'm going to throw it out. What does the concept of a money mindset mean to you? So Sister Bumi, I'm going to go to you first, girl. Okay. So please do try. And then we're just going to leave the floor open for a few people to just share with us their concept of a money, or what they think it means. Go on, sis, please.
I should have Googled this. I should have told.
No cheating.
Okay. I feel that a money mindset is the way you've conditioned your mind to act or respond about money, in simple terms.
Thank you very much. Do you want to nominate someone? I think we should play that game. Go on and nominate someone.
Stop sharing, then I can see people.
Okay. And then the next person to nominate someone. So let me stop sharing. So bear with me.
You've shown us everything.
That wasn't meant to happen. I was trying to stop sharing. Go on.
You see this person that has typed. I'll just nominate her.
Go on then.
My friend of over 35 years, my sister, Oin Consola, I nominate you.
Thank you.
Hopefully you can talk. If you can unmute yourself, girl.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I was just saying, I thought about the same thing Bumi said.
That's not allowed.
No, that was honestly, that was what I was thinking about when you say it. I was like, okay, that was why I wrote that immediately. Okay. The way you condition your mind, yeah.
Okay, go on then.
Okay, let's nominate somebody else.
You.
Go on.
Just pick a name from the list.
Oh, myself? Oh, okay.
Yes, please. Yeah, we're passing it, on.
Pass the
I'll
button.
speak my one and only Sister Flora.
Thank you. Sister Flora, where are you?
Flora C, that's you.
Okay. Money mindset. Wow. Your mindset might be as a result of your upbringing towards money, what you saw, how your parents spend money or people around you. So your mindset towards money, about money, can stem from that.
Thank you very much. Please do nominate the next person, please, sis.
I'm going to nominate Edore.
Thank you.
Dr. Edore?
You're muted.
Maybe she is possibly at work. So let's see.
Okay, let me pick some. No, wait. Okay,
she's here. She's here.
Yeah.
I said I knew she was going to call me.
So you muted yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So money mindset is, for me, that I've been trying for some time. Actually, I've been trying to recondition and reprogram my mind regarding money mindset. So money now is easy to make.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen. Thank you. Please do nominate.
Money mindset. Let's see who's on there. AA.
AA. Let me just ask you to unmute.
Money mindset to me is how you what you project. I mean, if you have money, what you project to do with your money. Like, do you want to invest in with your money? Do you want to save? What do you want to buy? It's just how you spend money. Just, I don't know, to me.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's part of it. Thank you, sis. Please do nominate one. We'll have one more person and then we'll proceed. Thank you.
Linda.
Linda
Larry Odumesi.
Okay. Linda, if you can unmute yourself, please. Okay, she's still muted.
Yeah, I've asked her to unmute.
Or let's just pick one more person.
Okay. Yeah, one more, please.
I'm gonna pick Baroness V. Hopefully you can talk. Very simple.
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
Money mindset. I think it's a combination of what everyone have said.
Sure
And
is.
it's yeah. And it's how I don't know if this English is right. It's how you steward money.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how you steward money is based on your mindset. So
correct. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much, sis. Okay, so let me share my thoughts and then we can add that into the mix. Bear with me. Okay. Okay, here we go. Right, so it encompasses, as one of my sisters already mentioned, quite a lot of different, it's a wide spectrum. It encompasses your money philosophy. So the principles and the unique set of beliefs you have about money, right? Your money personality, which is reflected by your thoughts about money, your attitude towards money. We've already alluded to some of that. Your values, your money values, because you see, money has both a monetary and a life value. Yeah, so money is there, it's a tool, it's a financial tool to fund your life, to buy your basic necessities and to buy you a good life. But it also has a life value because it facilitates the life you aspire for yourself, the life you have designed for yourself. So I always say my IT career, I've been in IT for more than 25 years. So I always say that my IT career is nothing more than my vision funder. It just funds my life purpose because I want to live a good life, but then I also want to have a ministry that I don't have to, that doesn't give me financial stress. So my professional career is simply my vision funder. It just funds my vision. So that's the value it brings to my life. And it's also about the habits we have about money, which two of my sisters have already mentioned, and our behaviors around money and towards money. Our mindset underpins our relationship with money. Do we allow money to be our master, or do we allow it to be our slave? See, I believe that I work hard for my money. So I make my money work harder for me. I really work my money hard. Yeah, I play hard, I work hard, and I play harder. Our money mindset influences our decisions about money. When do you spend it? How do you spend it? How do you save it? When do you save it? When do you invest it? Again, one of my sisters alluded to that. And our money mindset is at the core of how we handle money. And that's the stewardship element that my sister mentioned already. Yeah. So Our money mindset is it's actually powerful enough, actually so powerful to hinder or propel the attainment of our life's purpose. Yeah, because if we don't put a check on our money mindset, we may have a lot of money and still not achieve our life's purpose. You know, if we don't know how to harness that power, if we don't know how to steward that money, you know, if we don't have balance and all of that, it's also powerful enough to dictate our lifestyle. There's a space missing there. It can actually uplift or devastate our life, how we handle money or our relationship with it. Is that powerful? It's powerful enough to impede or enhance our lifestyle. So I have a joke that I have a champagne taste. Well, you know what? I have a Coca-Cola or even water, bottled water budget. So what do? I have a champagne taste, but my budget is, I can only afford a Coca-Cola or a bottle of water. So what do? I make sure that I look for that champagne and get it where it's sold the cheapest. And you'll be surprised that the same item, exactly the same make and model of whatever it is you want to buy in the market, has a variety of prices. So if you don't look hard enough, if you're not frugal enough or wise enough to shop around, you're going to spend all of your money buying that champagne when you could have spent a lot less, or you're just going to say, oh, I can't afford the champagne. I'm just going to go and buy a bottle. No. I have a champagne taste. I'm going to satisfy my champagne taste as much as possible. Okay. It's about my mindset, right? It's also powerful enough to boost or deflate our confidence and morale. Absolutely. I mean, we can cover that in the interactive session later, but you can imagine if your money mindset, or rather if your mind around money is not set effectively, it could actually make you to lose confidence. You may even have the money, yeah, it's sitting in your account, but you're walking around, you're living a suboptimal life. Not that you can't afford to live a better life, but because your mindset is not set correctly, and we're going to talk about money personalities in a few slides later. But it can actually affect your morale. So you walk around as though you are poor, because you have a poverty mindset. You're not poor, but you're just poor in your mind. Do you know what I mean? It's your thinking that's impoverishing you, not your finance. I hope that makes sense. But please do ping any questions you have in the chat, and sis, we'll keep an eye on that for us. Thank you. And the last one there is that it can adversely or positively impact your health and well-being. Of course it can. If you have a money mindset that makes you feel like you have to compete with other people, like there's this status symbol that you've got to maintain, that you've got to have and show to the world, but you can't. It's a facade. You can't afford it. So you now get yourself into debt, and then in your quiet moments, it's actually affecting you, maybe mentally, emotionally, and before you know it, it begins to seep into your physical being, and then you begin to feel unwell. Why? Because you want to present a facade to the world. The world doesn't really care. You shouldn't allow them to affect you that much. Again, it goes back to our mindset, which is to what our host mentioned at the start. Everything we do, our mindset pervades every area of our life, whether or not we know it, which is why it is very powerful, and we must make sure that we are in control of our mind and our mindset. Okay, so money personality. I'm just going to now go and list a few interesting ones. Money maker, right? So some people, their personality around money is that they like to make lots of money. Like every stream of income that's going, they're in there, they're making money, they're generating money. That's good. That's really good. But then they're hoarding it. There's a hoarder later. They're sometimes hoarding it. They're not spending it to live the life they've designed for themselves, or live the life they like to live. But they're just more interested in, they're making the money, and people know that they're making the money. They're seeking that status, if you like, and they're making a lot of money, but they don't even know why they're making all that money. They have no plans for how to spend it. They have no financial goals. They have no, any plan to do something meaningful with it. But it's a lot of money. It's sitting somewhere, and it makes them feel good. So that's good. But the pitfall is you will spend all your waking moments, all the time that you could be spending living, you'll be spending and making money. And living is not just about making money. Living is living. And the Bible, I'm a Christian, the Bible says that we should live life abundantly. So you have to stop yourself and ask, am I living a fulfilled life? Am I intentionally doing, like facilitating the life I have designed for myself? If you have designed one, if you haven't designed one, you should. All of this money I'm making, what am I doing with it? What should I be doing with it that will add meaning and value to my life? So that's one. Number two, hoarder. They make it, the little they have, they hoard. Even the little they have, they're hoarding. They're not living life. They're existing when it comes to money. They can cover their bills, but you know what? They're just so mindful of, like having so much, not stopping to think about, okay, I have this money. Why am I hoarding it? What should I be doing with it? So that's another pitfall with that personality. Avoider. I don't know why. Maybe because I like the good things of life, right? Why would I avoid making money? Why would I avoid spending money if I can afford it? I will avoid going into debt, but I won't avoid spending money to facilitate the life that I deserve and I have earned, worked hard for. So that's an avoider. They just avoid making money. They avoid spending money. It's like their relationship with money is kind of twisted. They're not quite sure, don't ask me why. Investor. This is someone who has hopefully they've got a positive mindset around money, right? They know that money is only a tool. It's only a tool. It's not the reason they're here, but they want to live a good life. So, and they know that just by making and hoarding, not generating any income, not making that money grow, it's not going to buy you the life you want after a while, because we're already in a financial situation now because of COVID, so you hear all of these rumors and financial crises always looming, never quite going away. So an investor is that person who they know that they've got to put their money somewhere where it's going to be making an income. They invested in something, it could be properties, it could be a business venture, whatever, but they know that their money is making them more money. They're not just hoarding it. Okay. But at the same time, I'd like to think that they've got a balance. They're not just making all of it and throwing it into the investment pot and not spending any of it to live in the present. Yeah. A saver or a compulsive saver, they're just, all they know about is to save. They save, they save, they save. They don't stop to think, well, I want to look good too. This month, I'm just going to treat myself to a nice top or go away somewhere, have a nice meal, meet up with friends. They just, all they're thinking about is, save, 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 save. It becomes a compulsion. Again, that's now veering towards the end of the spectrum. That's not, maybe isn't so healthy for some people. It's just something to bear in mind. Remember, these are just suggestions. So it's good to save, but then it doesn't mean you don't live for now. You live in the present as well, and you keep an eye on the future. So you're kind of, it's maintaining that balance between living in the moment and saving for the future. And a saver splurger, interesting. They spend like 10 months, for example, saving so well. And then month 11 knocks on the door and out they go, and they go spend it all. It's like, ooh, the sales are on and I'm going to knock myself out. What was the point in saving all of that money? And to have gotten to that 11th month, they may have saved so much that they've deprived themselves of living in the present. And then they just splurge it all. And then they start all over again. And as you can imagine, that doesn't sound to me, and I'm not being a Georgina, judging, that doesn't sound to me like a balanced way of living where I save for 11 months and then I splash it all. And then I start again in January, I save until November, and then I splash. Even saying it's making me feel tired and weary. Gambler speaks for itself. I don't know, some people want to play the lottery, that's okay. They want to, but then one has to be careful that you're in the middle. You're not on the end of the spectrum, because in no time that person will get into trouble, because they gamble a little bit and then they gamble a little bit more and then a little bit more, and then now they're in debt because they're gambling. And while they're doing all of that, they're not living in the present anyway. And by the way, when they lose it all, they haven't future-proofed their life either. a spender and a big spender. Oh yeah, you know, gotta buy the best car, best, which is relative, best to whom? Because the society suggests, oh, everybody in quotes, everybody's driving that kind of car, make a model car. They're a big spender. They just spend, spend, spend. They don't know anything other than to just spend. And then when the time comes for them to have some, like they need emergency funds, they haven't got it. And then, God forbid, depression sets in. You know, so that's just something to bear in mind. A debtor, again, speaks for itself. Always spending, not having any mind for tomorrow. You know, they believe that, you know, we're here, you only live once. Yeah, you only live once, but none of us knows how many years we're going to live for. You may think, oh, well, you know, I don't know if I'm going to live till my 90s. And then you live till you're 100. What do you do? So it's a debtor personality is someone who is very reckless. No matter how much debt, they know they've got lots of debts. They're not thinking about to pay them off. They're just recklessly and accidentally increasing their debts when they could be intentionally minimizing and reducing their debt just by being more mindful about how they steward their money, how they spend it, how they handle it, their relationship with it, their habits around it. A shopper, again, speaks for itself. Yeah, they shop. I think some people probably think I'm a shopper because, you know, we look at people, we go, oh, they look nice. Ah, there must be a shopper. I mean, the white people in my office, yeah, they always say, oh my God, a lady said to me, my God, your hair always looks different. I never recognized you. You must have your hairdresser must be very rich. I haven't been to a hairdresser in 16 years. Little did she know. At that point, I hadn't been for about 10 years. And I was just thinking, yeah, that's what you'd think. You see, that's the thing, because they just look at you and they just assume that, oh, you're just splashing and shopping. But, you know, if someone is really, you know, your personality is just about shopping about anything and everything, the most expensive. I go into Marks and Spencer, I must buy my bread from Marks and Spencer. Okay, as long as you can afford it and you're living in the present and future-proofing your life. Again, it's all about our mindset and the power that it has on either facilitating our life's purpose or limiting us in ways that could bite us tomorrow. Just something to bear in mind. Indifferent to money. That indifference is just when someone just doesn't understand why we bother about money. What is money? Ugh, can't be bothered. I don't even know how much my bills are. You know, you may ask someone and they'll be like, I don't know what my outgoings are per month. Okay, you don't know? Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is pure foolishness. I'm sorry to say again, sorry for being a Georgina. Ignorance, it is not bliss. Forget about that phrase. It is not true. It isn't bliss. It's pure, ignorance is pure foolishness. Because if you don't know how much you're spending on your bills, you know, when British Gas ups their rates, or the water utility companies, or your mobile phone company, when they increase the tariff, you wonder when the bank is helping itself to your money, or when a fraudster takes £1 from your account one day, £2 the next time, you didn't notice, you didn't complain, they're going to take 200 and you wouldn't even know because you don't check. You don't check your balance, your bank statements, you don't check anything at all. You're just so indifferent to money. You just take what you need and off you go. You don't know how much you're spending or your income are, whether you're balancing your books. Just something to bear in mind. Very risky because it's only a matter of time before it begins to affect you, your well-being. Yeah. Money warrior. Huh. Someone who thinks that they will never have enough. Oh my God, do I have enough? Oh, they're worrying. As though they worry. The Bible tells me, as a Christian, that that word appears so many times in the Bible that it's just, you know, it was on God's mind, and he just knew that we would by default worry if he didn't advise us, and if he would only follow the advice not to worry. There's no point worrying about money. Make it, spend it. Money is only a tool. It is the love of money that causes evil. You know, money is a tool to facilitate that abundant life that God has promised his children. That's all it is. It's a tool. Don't worry about it, because as long as you believe and you're working hard, you're going to make money, and then you're going to spend it, and then you're going to make money. You're going to pay your taxes. Your taxes are going to buy your national health free in the UK at least. And you're going to get all sorts of things. Your electricity works and all of that. Don't worry about it. Listen, Let them increase the price of petrol. Just believe that you will always have enough. Yeah, you will always have enough because you're working hard and you're putting your money to work for you. Okay, no need to worry about money, because worry, it's only a matter of time again, because before worrying about money becomes a physical, mental health issue. No point. There is no point. Just spend it wisely, will be my advice. Status seeker, the last one there, well, speaks for itself. I know I can't afford this, but I'm going to buy it anyway because people are going to look at me and think, ooh, she's loaded. Nobody cares. They may say you're loaded once, the next time they're not going to think it again, unless you buy something new every time and you want to hear them say it. If you want to be, if it gives you validation, that's okay. But think about the pitfall, because they're not going to be there when you're sitting in your, your closet crying about bills that you can't pay, or about debt, or about the impact on your health. So just think about that. Okay, now we're going to move on to money values. See, our money values are just a set of internal and external factors that influence how we feel about money. Some people feel so strongly about money. Some of those personalities I mentioned, that it's like their life depends on it. They're money motivated. It's like, I gotta make money, I gotta make money. So weary. It influences our values, our money influence our financial decisions. And they're shaped by our nature. One of the sisters mentioned about nurture, our life experiences, are how we were raised. If our parents were so frugal, if growing up I didn't see my mother do anything other than make, and you can't say it on her. She's not living a good life, but there's so much money in the account. I mean, even Ecclesiastes, the book of wisdom, tells us that you've got to enjoy the reward of your labor. Otherwise, when you're gone, those kids, I always say that if you don't enjoy your money while you're here, once you're gone, once you check out, those kids, they're going to spend it. You'll be dizzy in your grave. They're going to spend it so quickly. And even while you're still alive, when you let those kids lose on your money, they're going to spend it. They won't even give you change. Okay, so please do enjoy your money while you're here. Okay, so we're shaped, our mindset is shaped, by that. Our values are shaped by all of these experiences and the social groups we belong to. If we belong to groups that always like to overspend when they're going out to parties because it's a competition, I have to look the best, then, you're going to be going into debt, because especially if you go to so many parties, like party every weekend, you're there and you're buying, and you cannot repeat your outfit, by the way. So it's only a matter of time. And our values about money underpin what we deem to be the purpose of money in our life. Okay, so I'm going to give some examples. For me, money is meant to be used, as I said, it's a tool to facilitate my lifestyle and my life's purpose, because I desire to leave a legacy. I want to live very full and die absolutely empty. A friend always says to me that on my gravestone, on my tombstone, that she can imagine that they will write, and she lived. Yeah, because I have one daughter. By the grace of God, I have invested in her. By the grace of God, she's got her own life now to live. I'm going to live my life now. Okay. So I'm not going to live like as though the only purpose I'm here is to be her mother. No, I'm here as Tokbe and also as Sheto's mom. Okay. So I want to have the impact. My value about money is that I want to use my money to achieve impact, to make impact in the lives of others. And that's why I call my career my vision funder. Okay, that's why I wouldn't retire too early, because I need that money to fund my ministry. Okay, that's my mindset. And also my value is about attaining balance. I want to live in the now. I want to live in the moment while I've got my eye on the future. A young lady once asked me, I think she was 15, she said, Auntie, how do you achieve that balance? I said, by the grace of God and with a lot of prayers. Because you want to live well today, but you also want to live, you want to future-proof your life, because you might say, well, my dad died, may God rest his soul, it was at 46. I've asked God for 92, double his portion, okay? Now, I don't know if I'm going to live to 92, I'm in my late 50s, I don't know if I'm going to live to 92, but you know what? I am going to live the best life that I can within the circumstances that I can, with the grace that the Lord allows me. but I'm still going to keep my eye on tomorrow because I may very well live to 92. If I blow all my money thinking, my dad died, so my dad died early, I'm not likely. And then at 70, I'm still here. What am I going to do if I've spent all my money? So it's achieving that balance. One of my money values. Health. I want my money to fund my well-being. I want to have a feeling of joy and peace. I don't want to get into debt by spending recklessly, but at the same time, I don't want to restrict myself so much, with my frugality, that I can afford this thing without going into debt, and I want it, but I'm not going to get it because I'm so scared that, if I buy it, what if I can't? What if? No, I'm a child of God. I have faith. And that will soon affect my health because I'm feeling like I'm not really living the life I want, I desire. And now I'm feeling maybe depressed, all through no fault of anybody else but mine. So I'm self-limiting effectively. In my marriage, romance, I want my values around money to influence my decision making. I don't want to be reckless because, again, it will only come back to affect the relationship. Because when you have money, when you have financial woes and financial stress, yes, it will seep into your relationship and it will affect it. Family, again, I value my family so much, and I want to make sure that my money is spent to support my family, my siblings, whenever, anyone in the family that needs help. I pray that I will have that surplus to support them, because it may be my turn tomorrow. It may not be money, maybe something else. But, I just want to, that's my value around money. So I want to make sure that the way I manage my money, the way I steward my money, using my sister's concept, it will allow me to do that. Okay. Giving, contributing, related to spirituality, supporting others. I want to be in a position to be able to give to the ministry, to other people's ministries, to church, contribute to any work that is going on in God's work, God's business, effectively. So those are my values around money personally. And the last one is security. Of course, I want to have financial security. I don't want to get to my 60s and then I'm dependent on my daughter. Now she has to get a second job because my pension is not sufficient for me. So I'm keeping my eye on that as well, on that financial security. Again. And lastly, adventure. I love to travel. So it can be expensive sometimes. But I love to do it on the cheap as well. 5-star for a 2-star price. Remember, champagne taste, Coca-Cola budget. But it makes me feel fulfilled because, again, that's how I want to spend my money. I want to make sure that I have, these are my values personally. I'm just throwing them out there. You may have other values. This may just, inspire you to begin to look at how, what your financial will look like in these areas. Okay, so some money habits, suggestions. Pay yourself first. Actually, I'm a Christian. I pay God first, then I pay myself. Then I pay the utility company, and then I pay other people. Yeah, so pay yourself first is a good money habit. Pay yourself. That's by saving, scooping your savings after a while into an investment pot. Pay yourself first. Don't just let the banks and the utility companies help themselves to your money. Pay yourself first. Have a percentage of your income every month that you've earmarked for yourself, for your savings. Have savings goals, have financial goals, if you like. So pay yourself first. Spend less than you earn. Yeah, it's good to, you don't want to, okay, this is your level of earning. You don't want to be above it. You really don't want to spend more than you earn. That's how one gets into debt. It's not a healthy money habit. Spend less. If this is your earning level, come below, because that difference there is what you can scrape and save, and then build into an investment pot over time. And then before you know it, you're more comfortable, and then you're looking to earn more, and you're moving. Even as you move your earning level, make sure that you're still spending a lot less, because you don't. Once in a while you move up because you want to go on a vacation. Yeah, why not? And then you come back once in a while. But make sure that you're spending less than you earn. Check your motive before you spend. Ask yourself, is it a need or is it a want? Nothing wrong with a want. I like wants sometimes, but is it a need, especially if it's an expensive item? And if it's not a necessity, ask yourself, is this want so, what is your how? How is it in your mind? What's the depth? Like if you don't have it, are you going to die if you don't buy that bag? And the bag is 2,000 pounds. Why? You can't afford it. If you cannot afford it, why? Check your motive. Ask yourself why. Because the magazine says, oh, that's the in bag. No, it's not. That's what they think. So check your motive before you spend. Am I buying this thing because I need it, or because I want it, or because I think people are going to look at me and, give me maybe, like classify my status a little bit higher? Am I buying it for validation or to be recognized or to belong? Just check your motive before you spend. Shun debt. Absolutely avoid debt. It is not good for the soul. And the Bible, again, I'm a Christian, I'm going to quote the Bible. That's the only place I go to for wisdom. The Bible says that the debtor is a slave to the lender. Try to avoid it. Yeah, there might be times in our moments, seasons where we may find ourselves in that place, but you want to pay it off and quickly come back into the black. You don't want to be in the red, because it is not good for the soul. It is not good. I mean, if you are already in debt, then have a plan, have a payment plan. I have a spreadsheet. If you like, reach out to me through my sister, the host, Sister Bomiawe. I have a spreadsheet I use for coaching, which I can share with you, that will help you to keep an eye on how you can, go through an aggressive agenda, set yourself an aggressive goal target rather, and just work your way to get enough. Because honestly, life will feel a lot better when you don't feel like you've got so much debt. The brown envelopes lands on your doorstep and you're panicking, oh, they're after me again. It's not good for the soul, and it's not good for our well-being. Another good money habit to consider is, I alluded to this already, is setting financial goals. Short-term goals, whatever those are for you, medium-term goals and long-term goals, like pension. What do I want to be earning? What kind of lifestyle do I want to have when I retire? For me, it's knocking on the door. So I'm thinking about it. What kind of lifestyle do I want to have? What are my medium-term goals? What do I want to buy? Do I want to buy another property, build an investment, property portfolio, whatever it is? That will help you to determine how much you need to save to begin to scrape that into an investment pot and begin to build that. So do try to set financial goals for yourself. And a good short-term one, an example of a good short-term one will be paying off your debt. Because while you have debts, there's no such thing as savings. Because your debts charge you, they incur more interest than you could ever get on your savings or investments. So always think about that. Pursue multiple streams of income, so that if one stream of income is not giving you if you've designed a life and the single stream of income is not giving you income that you require, or even the disposable income, I should say, that you require to live that life, then consider multiple streams of income. Go explore on Google, YouTube, find out how, speak to people, network, collaborate. Because at the end of the day, you want to live, while you're here on this side of heaven, you really want to live a very optimal life, an abundant life, where you're not in financial distress all the time. Maintain an emergency or rainy day fund, because anything can happen to your source of income. If it's a business, if it's a job, anything can happen that will make you lose that regular income that you've now come to depend on. So if you're spending all of your income at the end of the month, if the month is longer than your income, there's more month at the end of your salary, you really need to think about the streams of income. But you also need to, as part of that balancing act, try to just stash something to one side, so that when that rainy day comes, that you need something urgently, maybe for yourself or for a family member, you at least have something to go to. And then once you spend it, you build it up again. You try to build it up again. Set a budget. Whatever you're buying, always have a budget, because if you don't set a budget, the seller is going to set the budget for you. So if you enter a grocery store and you don't have an idea of how much you're going to spend, or what product make you're going to buy, or the brand rather, they're just going to set your budget for you. So if you didn't think about it, you just go and you're not intentional about what you want to buy or your budget, and you're planning to stick to it. You can veer from it. You can deviate from it slightly, but don't go in intending to spend £10 and then allow that grocery store to take £50 from you. You know, they're already rich. Don't let them get richer off of you. Okay. So just always spend a budget, whatever it is, whether it's a it's a trip, whether you're buying a house, you're buying a car, have your own budget. Don't let someone else set the budget for you. And track your spending. It's good to, I mentioned one of the personalities I mentioned was the indifferent person. When you're indifferent about money, track your spending, because you'll be surprised what you find, the insight you will glean from just recording. Try for a month, just record your income, record all you spend money on. And you may surprise yourself if you try the next month and then you see that, hang on, I could have saved £200 if only I had known, because all the time you're opening your purse and you're getting money out and you're not even tracking it. You don't know how much, you don't even know what you're spending it on. You can't recall it. Then that could actually be causing you to lose money that you could be spending or saving rather, or spending on something else. So it's good to track your spending. Know the status of your accounts, please, please, please. Know the status of your accounts. There are a lot of scamming going on out there where you, honestly, £1, they will just try to deduct £1 from your account. It happens a lot in the UK for sure. I don't know whether it does in the States or other places around the world. They will try to deduct £1 from your money because they clone our cards, right? And then you might not, you'll think, oh, £1. Even if you don't look at your account, you wouldn't even know they've deducted £1. Okay, that person is testing the waters to see how aware you are of your finances. So the next time they're going to use your card, now they're going to go out and spend a lot of your money. And then the bank will say, yeah, but you use this, you spend £1, and you'll be like, no, it wasn't me. Well, that was 2 years ago. They've been taking £1 every other month without you realizing it. So do know the status of your accounts. Definitely. Don't leave it to the bank manager. Listen, they're not a charity organization. They're not your relative. They don't care about you. They care about themselves. So don't say, oh, I have an accounts manager. They're keeping their eyes on. No. You keep your eyes. Even billionaires do know the status of their accounts. So me, I'm a thousandaire. So I have to know the status of my accounts. I look after my pennies so that my pounds can look after themselves. And I'll tell you that when I tell my daughter, when I go into her room and I see copper, like 5p, sometimes even silver coins, I always tell her off that, why do you do that with money? Oh, I can't be bothered to carry around coins. And I say, that is bad stewardship, financial steward. God doesn't like that. So I gather all her coins and I spend them. And then I told her one day I was in Portugal. I was going on my walk, and then I needed to buy something from the grocery store. I think it was a bun or something, like a bread roll. I went in there and it was 12 cents. I had 11 cents. 1 cent, European, euro. 1 cent. So I called, I said, Sheto, remember what I said to you? God forbid that you will know the value of 1 penny. Now I'm going to have to walk back 2.5 miles because I did not have the 1 cent to pay for a small, 12 cents. Can you imagine? So that's why it's very important how we steward our money and knowing the status of our accounts. I know that's kind of a digression, but it's just to tell you that every little counts. Every little counts. Do price comparison for spending on utilities. Whatever you're buying, always try to do a price comparison. I'll give you an example. I was looking for luggage, and this happens across the full spectrum of every thing that you can buy out there, any merchandise. I was going to buy luggage, right? I looked around. I like to buy my luggage with like a 10-year minimum warranty so that if anything happens to it, I can get a replacement. And I found this set was being sold by the manufacturer, a 3-piece luggage set. They were selling it for £480. And I thought, okay, I only need 2. I don't want 3 pieces. Okay, so I shopped around. The same luggage was being sold by Sports Direct. Those of you in the UK will know Sports Direct. They were selling it for 2 pieces out of the 3. They were selling for 150, but it was then on half price, 85. I took the screenshot, the link, same make, everything, same thing. They were the reseller, and the manufacturer had the audacity to want to sell that set for 480. So I sent it to a couple of people to say, can you please tell me whether those two items are the same. They said, of course they're the same. It's the same make. I said, can you now see? This is why it's good to shop around. So please always shop around before you settle on something. Make sure you're getting value for money. It is your money. You have worked hard for it. Let your money work harder for you, please. Settle your regular bills without delay. See, procrastination can be expensive. If you say, oh, bills, put it there, pile it high on the side of the desk or the kitchen cabinet, wherever you put your bills. And then you eye them, you walk past every day, and then you forget about them. And then by the time you're ready to pay, they've added interest rate if it's a credit card bill, because you've procrastinated, it's now cost you a bit more money. Or maybe it's a fine, a parking fine. You don't pay it on time, and then now it's double. Why would you want to give away your hard-earned cash? You're already paying what you're not happy with to that utility company. Why would you want to pay more just by procrastinating or settling or not settling on time? So please do try to settle your regular bills. You know they're coming. If you can't do direct debit, make sure that you're settling them as they turn up. And even with direct debit, please do check when you're out of contract, call them and renegotiate. They're hoping you would not call them. Yeah. If you call them, you'll be able to renegotiate. You can get a better deal. If you don't call them, when they say automatically renew, say, no, I do not like auto renews. No, I want to be in charge of my money. I am not letting you help yourself to my money. I shall tell you how much of my money you can have. Thank you very much. And the last one there, the habit of favoring paper over plastic. That's cash. Try to spend cash because it helps you to only spend what you have. When you're using card, like debit is okay, credit card, debit is the same as cash. When you're using a credit card like you would a debit card or cash, be very careful, because unless you're very disciplined, I have a credit card I used to collect air miles. I can spend thousands on it every month. I pay it off because I just need the air miles. And if I'm paying commission on it, I don't spend it because it has to benefit me. So remember that you have to benefit yourself with all of your hard work by you did to make that money. Okay, so I'm just about to land, and I've just put a bubble on the screen for you. Just throwing out some attributes of money, of our money mindset. Future proofing. We don't want to have a poverty mindset. It helps self-esteem. It affects our self-esteem. It can affect it adversely or positively. Worry. Good generosity is good. The Bible tells me it's good to be generous, but I'm not going to be generous enough to get myself into debt. Okay, I have to love as I love myself. Okay, my money mindset has power. Overflow allows me to be able to bless others. I can be frugal, but I can also feel fulfilled in my spending in my life. Independence, financial independence. So just a few bubbles there for us. And now onto the interactive session. So I have a question, and then we're going to open the floor now. Okay. The question is,
stop sharing.
Oh no. The question: what is your money script? Let me explain what that is in case you don't know. After everything I've explained, your money script is a combination of your money values, your values about money, your attitudes. What do you tell yourself? What script, what talk, self-talk do you give yourself when you're about to spend your money? Do you even stop? What is your money script? Do you allow do you fluctuate among personalities depending on the circumstances? For sure. So what is your money script? Which is, all ties in with your relationship about money, your feelings about money. How do you feel about money? What do you think money is, and all that? So that's the question. So remember that. What is your money script? So now I'm going to stop sharing, and then we're opening the floor. Thank you. Okay, so
Thank you so much. Yeah,
I think we should all share as much as possible.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leave it to you, host, to call people or to invite people. But please, let's share and grow together. Thank you.
Yeah, I think this is the best part of Pass the Baton for me, is the sharing. And I think it's the one that I love the most. So you can raise your hands if you want to share. If you want to share anything regarding everything she has said. I've got some things to share. And I love what she said. I think I wrote one thing down. If I've not taken anything out of today, I've taken where is it? I know I wrote something down. Yes. Track your spending, settle your regular bills without delay, because procrastination can be expensive. I really, really love that. I really love that. And another thing I wrote here is that I think most of these things are things that we know, to be honest. But then it's always so good to get reminders, to get reminders every now and then. You would think we always know. So my question is, why are we not doing it? If we know something, why are we not doing it? So for example, in January, if you are here in January, and you were here when Ronke spoke about income and expenditure. She's mentioned it as well. If you were here in January and you haven't got it, let me use the word, I don't want to say shame on you, because we can't keep coming for such things like this and not be able to put into action the things that we're learning. That's how you know that things work, to be honest. If you don't put things into action, you will never know that it works. Okay, so your income and expenditure sheet is like, it's so last year. Everyone should have that. That's basic. If you really, really, want to have a good money mindset, so that you can understand what is coming in and what is going out. And I know she mentioned something also about streams of income. Let me just share here that I think next month, that's what we're having next month, how to turn our talents, our skills into money. There's one, she's actually here. If you speak to this lady, I'm telling you, in 5 minutes that you're speaking to her, she would say something that would make you to think that, wow, you've got this skill and how you can turn it into money. So that is next month. So thank you so much. And I know I did see a hand up. Stasio Hafilaka, I'm sure I saw your hand. I thought I saw Funke's hand as well earlier. I'm not sure. So I'll leave you to share. If you can put your video on, that would be good. If you can, that would be lovely. But if you can't, we do understand. Go on.
I'm on my bed. I'm sorry.
You love sleep.
I'll just clapping about next month. But since you have called me, thank you very much, Sister Tokwe, for sharing. It's been amazing. Good evening, everyone. For me, I mean, when you ask that question, what comes to my mind straight away is, when people talk about, I don't have enough, and that my own mantra, my logo is, money comes to me now in Jesus' name. That's Amen. What I say. And I'm conscious also when I go to the store to buy things, because things are expensive. Sometimes you walk into maybe a pound shop to pick 1 or 2 things, and by the time you're leaving, you've picked like 20-30 pounds, and you get to the till and you're like, wow. But every time I go to the store and I use my card, I just say, thank you, Lord, for giving me abundance, because abundance is mine. I'm just conscious of.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, I like that, because I think I was even having a discussion with one of my friends earlier. She's actually here. And we're talking about, how people are saying things are changing from April and all that. And I said to her that, look, it's fine to say all of these things, but we must understand first exactly what Statokwe has said. If you're doing all the right things, God is your CEO. Is the one that supplies, except you are looking at where you work as the one that gives you money. No, it's just a tool. It's just a tool of how God is blessing you. If you're doing all the right things, I'm not talking about when you're being complacent and you're not doing anything and you just think, money will just come to you. No. Or you just think, I will just keep praying without doing anything. That's not what I'm talking about. But if you're doing all the right things, if you're putting all the right things in place and he is your CEO, look, economy come, economy go, it would happen. It is bound to happen. I mean, the Bank of England has increased their rates, I think three times now, 4 times. And in the space of, this is just from January, So if you were enjoying variable rate before, obviously now you know that you need to get it fixed. So these are things, but one thing remains constant, that, we have open heavens, because he's my CEO. And that's one thing. So I love what Sister Shion shared. Anybody else, if you want to put your hands up, I think I've got some things in the chat, I'm not sure. But just put your hands up, please. What is your money script? How do you use money? What are the things that you can also tell others that can help you? And I want to share as well that if you have anything, like for example, you have money that you need to clear, call your bank, speak to them. They are also willing that you clear it actually. Don't just think, oh, it's there and I'm really struggling. No, let them know I'm trying to do this thing. I think someone did share with me where they're not charging her any interest at all because she's trying to clear debt. Because she said to them, every time I'm trying to clear, the interest is so high. How am I going to keep up? As I'm trying to clear, it's dragging me down again. And guess what? They took the interest off. So a closed mouth would never have done that. So always reach out, speak to people. Everyone has gone through the same thing. I always say this, there's nothing to be shy. We are all vulnerable so that somebody else does not have to go through what we have all gone through. So everyone has gone through this. So there's nothing to be shy about. That's why we are here. That's why we're talking. That's why we're coming together to be able to help each other out. So if I have AA, I'll just ask you to unmute.
Yeah, I just want to share a few things. One is budget. Like, for example, I can say that I have X amount of money to spend on food for the whole month for the family. I try as much as possible to stick to the budget. Sometimes I go over the budget because obviously we still have to eat, but I know that X amount is what I'm supposed to spend. So I focus my mind around that X amount. And sometimes even if the X amount is finished, I just look around the house for what I can just make up. Like, okay, I want to make up pasta. What ingredients have I got? I don't want to have to buy extra. So I stick to budget. Another thing I do is I have a shopping list. I don't go above my shopping list. Sometimes when you go into store and you don't have your shopping list, then you start seeing, oh, chocolate, 2 for 1, 3 for 1, 2 for. I stick to my shopping list all of the time. And then there used to be one website, it's been scrapped now. It's called Compare something, something, something. It's been scrapped now. So it's not Compare the Market is still active. This one is Compare something. I can't remember. It used to be active some years ago. So when you're on Tesco, for example, and you want to shop, it will show you other prices that other shops are selling for. I used to use that website a lot until it got scrapped. I think maybe the people that had the website, maybe they were losing, or I don't know. So they scrapped it. So, but I already have that mindset. So when I'm sitting on my computer, I still did it the last time I shopped, and I was laughing at myself that is all this necessary? Because it took me a while. I opened Tesco, I opened Asda, I opened Iceland. So I have things I buy in Asda, I have things that I buy in Iceland. And you know that Iceland, they will tell you if you buy up to 40, then you get free delivery. If you don't buy up to 40, you don't get free delivery. So I start to pick and select which one favors me more. Sometimes I get good deals in Asda. Sometimes I have to swap my basket around and say, okay, for example, I bought baked beans in Iceland and it was cheaper in Iceland than Asda. So that's what I do. I open the computer, start checking all the ones that favor me and the ones that I will even get free delivery on. So that's what I do. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, if I may, I just want to add to, you've just described exactly what I do, sis. Because it's your money. Yeah. If you go into the supermarket and you haven't got a list, or you don't have an idea of what you're going there for, you may come out with everything but what you went in there for. Mm-hmm. So they've actually created a list for you, and they'd love to do it, and they put all of those non-essentials, they put them by the till. So you think, oh yeah, you put that one there in your basket, and then you get home and what you had actually gone in there for, you haven't got. Or this buy one get one free. You only need one. Yeah, well, they're going to make you buy, because they have marked it up a bit, they're going to make you buy more than you need. So again, it's all about being savvy. And that's why it boils down to our mindset. If you don't have the mindset, if you don't have the mindset of, this is my money, I want to control how I spend it, you're ultimately going to have, by default, the mindset of, oh, this is Sainsbury's money, so you go ahead and put into my basket whatever I'll put there whatever you suggest as I walk through. So that's why the mindset, our mindset is so powerful, So
can I just quickly add to that? That buy one get one free. Sometimes I actually get my calculator out and calculate, and I see that the difference is just 20p. I'm like, so you guys just want to make me buy all this because of 20p? I just dump it. I just buy just the one I need.
And why do you think they're doing that? Because they need the storage.
Yeah, on the buy one get one free as well. I tell people sometimes it's about to expire. Sometimes it's not something that they need. So we must always think about these things, on this, because really they are out there. I tell people they are out there to make markets. And that's the honest truth. So as we are thinking, the new car is already being designed because they are out there to make a market. And I remember the session we had in January, someone actually did call me and said to me, okay, actually, this person has reminded me what I need to say. Someone did say to me that she actually changed her car because, you know, a friend was like, now you've got this promotion. Why are you still using this car? Every time the person was like, you're still using this car. And that then she started to think it's true. You know, maybe I deserve a better car now. But there was nothing wrong with that car. So we must be careful how people talk to us and how they drop little snippets here and there and avoid, you know, such things. If you're confident with what you're using, it's your money. You enjoy it. It's not giving you a problem. Why do you want to change it? And Sister Topper mentioned it. What is your motive? You know, what's the motive? Why? Someone also, let me just read this out. It's a direct before I forget. I did a balance transfer to a credit card provider offering interest-free for 32 months. This will give me the chance to clear the outstanding balance without struggling with paying and yet not to be able to clear it because of the interest. By the grace of God, I would have finished paying off the outstanding debt even before that time. Then I will cancel the card, as the purpose for the transfer is just to be able to clear the debt. That's it. So that's the reason. So that is another good one, actually.
Yeah. That's being savvy. That's using the system to your advantage.
Yeah.
See, you can have a credit card, but you have to know what you're doing because they're waiting for you. I don't pay a penny on interest because I pay it all off. And because I have determined that they're not going to get a penny, I want something from them. So I use it to collect air miles, you know. So you have to be very savvy. And it boils down to that mindset. Is it your money or is it their money? I believe it's my money. So I want to be in control of it.
Another place that I go to a lot is Martin Lewis website. I don't know if anyone goes there. There are loads of things you can do there. You know, if you want to write to cancel tax, maybe you want to write to the bank, there are letters that are already there. All you're doing is just changing. And another thing is we must not be shy, you know, to talk to your friends about things, about money saving, about investments. You know, shout out to a few people here. You know yourself. So I'm not going to mention names. You mustn't be shy. If you feel that somebody else has something that you need, please don't be shy. You know, as women, try to collaborate. Try to talk to somebody else who is better in that area than you. You know, it doesn't make you a weaker vessel. It just means that our strengths are in diverse ways. We call Sister Tokwe here the mindset queen. You don't think we're calling her the mindset queen because, the title just dropped from heaven and we're giving it to her. No, because you cannot spend 5 minutes with her and you will start to think, because our thinking will start to, you know, change the way you think and change the way you relate. So if you feel that somebody else has something, you know, go to them, ask them. For some people, they are better cooks than I am. You know, on this platform, there are people who are better cooks. So if I'm not, in fact, I always say that if I am so rich tomorrow, the first thing I will outsource, people who know me, they know. I always say chef. That's the first thing I need in my life. After the chef, I do cleaner. I don't need to do those two things. I've done enough of it in my life. Do you understand? So there are things that people are better. Stashin was laughing. She can't even cook. I'm a better cook than her. Do you understand? So there are people in life who have some things that we don't have. Please, let's reach out to one another. Let's help one another. Don't be shy. If you feel that somebody else they need a job, that you know definitely that within your circle, you are able to help and influence them, please do help them. Tell them what they need to do. They have the skills. You know, how can I help you? If you think that somebody needs something and you are in that line to be able to help them, please help. I don't want to talk too much. If we have any question, or if you want to just, you know, raise up your hands or just share a tip as well that you can help with. A tip.
Yeah, yes, please. What is your money script? Please do challenge us.
Anybody else?
Just to encourage us, to inspire.
I think another thing is fruits. You know, some people they buy fruits a lot. They just enjoy it. Okay, who is B? I'm going to have to unmute you. I want people to talk. Use your skills to make money is a good one. If you can. Just unmute yourself and kind of expatiate on it. I've asked you to unmute. B.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, I mean, what I mean by use your skills is if there's anything you know how to do very well. I mean, there are so many things like Sister Pastor Bumi was just talking about, you know, cooking and cleaning. There are so many skills that we have that we know that we have, things that we can do, things that other people would pay you to do. For example, if you're somebody, and the other thing you said that I really liked was that don't be shy. If there's anything you can do, I think the one thing that I found in sort of, let me say, some African women is that I don't know whether it's a thing of pride. So, I mean, it's things like, you know how to iron. There are people out there who are looking for somebody who would do ironing for them. That is a way to make money. You're actually using your skills to make money, because whatever you can do that you have passion for, other people are waiting to pay for that thing. I went somewhere this morning and I saw a tablecloth. And it was actually a tablecloth that was made in Senegal. Very nice, made from African fabric. And I looked at it and I thought it was a tablecloth, and it had like the mats, and it was all made out of this Ankara fabric. Very nice. And I thought, these people here, I mean, in this part of the country, they would actually appreciate things like this and they would buy. And I instantly thought of that. This is an income stream. If I could get like a link in Senegal, somebody, and I just started to, think about all the logistics and everything. So what I'm just saying in essence is that if there is anything you know how to do, it could even be, you could be somebody who knows how to make things like pillows. You could be someone who knows how to sew. You could make like curtains out of African material, Ankara and things like that. In a way, you're using your skills to make money, but at the same time, you are actually promoting your culture in that sense. Because all these like fabrics, for example, that we go out to buy, we buy very expensive curtains and everything. But who says that if you start to make Ankara curtains and put them in the shop, that people won't buy them? So it's all those kind of things, whatever you know how to do. If you specialize in making moi moi, for example, there are so many people who don't know how to make it. You can make it, start to, supply the shops out there. That is an income stream. So may God help us.
Amen.
I'll just stop there. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm not sure, but I think I know who that person is. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, you did.
So thank you. In fact, the last one she ended on moi moi. We all know Ayo make bokpe. We all understand. I'm sure a lot of people would have heard that story. How Moi Moi took her to the White House. So if you've not heard that story, you can Google her. You can look her up on Instagram. I don't make moi moi anymore. I used to enjoy making moi moi. Wow, if you knew me in London, if you come to my house at least every Saturday, I loved it. And I used to really, really like outsource it as well to parties. But when you get so busy now, actually, what she's saying, I know a lady in Chatham who makes more money. I don't make more money anymore. I just outsource it to her because I'm like, she does it really well. And she does a lot, at least minimum every Saturday, she does about 300 to 400. So like once a month, I just outsource it because then I use my time to do the things that I enjoy doing. So there are things that I enjoy doing that, I've done so much. I love ironing. Even though, yes, I don't iron for people, but ironing gives me strength. It gives me joy. And there are a lot of people on this platform that I know that they're doing great things, cooking, cleaning, tuition. There are so many things that we can do with the skills that God has blessed us with. And like Sister Tokwe said, a lot of people, the reason why God is giving you this money is not just for you. You are not just somebody's mom and all we do is just come to the world and that's it and then we go. No, there's so much inside of us. And that's why this platform is there, for us to start thinking of those things that God has embedded inside of us, the skills, the talents that we need to pass on, passing the baton. We need to pass it on before we leave Mother Earth. We need to understand it. We need to pass it on. There's so much. And I think Sister Mercy is there. She does cargo. And She put something on her status yesterday, and that resonated with what Sister Tokwe said when she was talking about generosity, and that generosity is a gift. Well, you don't want to give the whole of your money, and then you're in debt. So this person was talking about how you can even put aside generosity money for the month. If it's 10,000 that you can afford, that is your generosity money for the month. If people come to you and you want to be generous, once that money is finished, guess what? You budgeted that money. It is finished. Don't feel shy. It's a budget. Otherwise, you would keep giving and you would forget about yourself and you run into debt. Yes, we want to help, but we must understand that you can only do what you can. You can only do what you can. So if you're somebody that's, go on, please.
No, sorry, I just wanted to add to that there's this saying that you can always tell the condition of a person's heart by looking at their bank statement. Because if your bank statement shows that you've been given to charity or that you've been buying, shopping. So that's why it's really good to get your bank statement and look at it, because you will shock yourself just by looking at, and that relates to the tracking of your money. So remember this saying, you can tell a person's heart, the condition of their heart, just by looking at their bank statement.
Thank you so much.
So yeah.
Anybody
someone
else?
Someone put something on the chat, which I think she should speak, Sister Mabel. You're right. So I find it very uncomfortable to buy. I call it buying blindly. And what I mean is, I would never buy something without knowing the price of it first. So entering a store and seeing the price of something for the first time, how do I know that that's the best value? How do I know that they're not trying to sell it to me for 5 times more than other people are selling it? So she put something on the chat about, even in the store, Google, even when I'm abroad, I have internet, I quickly check, because I want to know. I will kick myself if I get back home and find that I have paid 3 times for it. So I always say I don't buy blindly, because that's buying blindly. I have no idea. So I'm just going to pay whatever they tell me, so it's always good to have an idea before you go in there. This can of whatever is sold for this all over the place, so that if they try to sell it for 3 times more, you'd be like, no, not on my watch. So thanks.
Thank you. And the message says on your banking app. Actually, yes, that's true. Most banking online now, there's a tracker where it says track your spending, and you can even see what you spend most. And I think also with Halifax now even does that. If you spend £20 last month and now you are spending 50, it would alert you straight away to say that, your spending is actually higher than last month. Is that okay? Is that something that are you conscious of it? So all of these things are there to just help, but we must make use of it as well.
Imagine if the bank thinks you should know. Now, remember, the bank is not a charity. If they think you should know, you should definitely know. Now, someone put on there about Kolo, Yoruba for money banks, what do we call them? Piggy banks. Now, I've got a story. A lady, a white friend of mine years ago, she was in debt to the tune of about 40K, and it was stressing her out. She had so many credit cards, and when we asked her to cut them up, she was crying, because her life depended on that. So anyway, she then went into a debt management plan, and she was meant to pay off the debt in 5 years, heavily paying monthly, of course. Do you know what she did? She went and bought literally pound store, those baby feeding, those pots with lids, small pots, plastic pot containers. She bought about 30. So every time she got her salary, she will withdraw all of it in cash and distribute them, labeled each pot into pots. And then at the end of every month, whatever is left over, she used to smoke. She'll have smoking money, hairdressing money, whatever, nail. She had all of that. Whatever she didn't spend, she would then transfer, take it and put it. So, and then she paid it off in 3 years, 2 years early. And then she bought a house with a lot of deposit, because she became mindful about how she was spending money. Now, to that point, Monzo, the banking app, gives you that concept of pots. They have money pots, so that's your virtual pot. That's your virtual piggy bank. You can actually have pots where you will set up a plan to move this amount into that pot, and it lets you do that. So just another tip to throw out there.
That's good. I didn't know about that for Monzo. Okay, we need to. So that's another tip there, Monzo. So someone also said Ajo, which is a thrift, thrift. Obviously that's for me. Just understand who you're going into with, and understand who you're thrifting together with, because I know it's a very powerful concept. I've seen people use it, but just understand who you're coming together with, and that's the only thing I can say on that one. So there are lots of things that we can do. I mean, I was really happy. I know the session we had in January, and after that about 4 or 5 women actually reached out to me, been able to do shares. And if at first they were thinking it was something, I don't have so much money. I said, you don't need to have so much money. You just need to be consistent every month. If it's 20 pounds, there are shares of 10p. I'm telling you, there are shares of 15p. Tesco is only £2.5. So if you do Tesco, £50 every month. So imagine you bought a few this month, next month again, you bought another one, then another month again. Do that consistently for 2 years. Is this just be consistent? Sometimes we don't all have a lot. And that's one thing that I want us to know, that sometimes we don't have this lump sum, but just start where you are gradually. Like Stetokwe said, just put that into a pot, and as you continue to do it, you start to see things start to change. It gets better, then it gets better. And then because your mindset anyway is changing about money, I know I can see.
Yeah, indeed, because it's those small consistent steps that help you to build up. Yeah, you go one, and because if you're saying, I only have 50, so I'm not going to bother. What you do is you then blow that 50. By next month, it could have become 100, but now you've blown 100. And then by the end of the year, it could have been 600. Now you've blown 600 when you could have saved 600. So just as my sister said, small consistent steps, just do it. JDI, just do it. Just start now where you are.
If you need any information on that, please just send me a message. I might forget, but just send me a message. Ronke, I think you need to talk. To be honest, I don't even understand what you were talking about in the chat. So maybe you want to talk and explain yourself. Before Ronke talks, if you work in a private organization, can I also say that look at your perks at work? There are loads of perks that sometimes we don't even use them. Sometimes we even forget it, that it's there. There are lots of perks that you can use. And then also, if your company has a share scheme, that's another one. Wherever you work, if they have a share scheme, you want to invest in that, it's a very good one as well. Lots of companies are doing it now. So yes. Can I have Adeyinka, please? And after that, Ronke. I've asked you to unmute yourself.
I just wanted to say well done to Tokwe for putting this together. She's highly blessed and well done. Well done. This is Tokwe talking anyway, because there's nobody has
I know, sick. Thank you.
So I wanted to say well done, and God will bless you.
Amen.
Because I really appreciate it, because I forgot. I remembered and I said, when is her, this event? And God just told me that it's today. I just logged on and I said, I'll give you some words of encouragement that this is well done.
God
yeah,
bless you,
I'm supposed to put on my camera, but well done. Well done. Yeah, God bless you, double.
Amen.
And continue.
Amen. You too.
Thank you.
That's what I just wanted to say, because everything you're saying makes sense.
Thank you. God bless you, sis.
And it's a real breakthrough for other people, because as you just said, it's like when I started, I said doing cake. I said I can't do it, but I started, and it's something. When it's like sewing clothes, I said I could do that. I said it's something. So, and words of encouragement, it's something. So people, you've all got something in you, honestly.
Yes.
And you, well done. Anyway, yeah.
Amen. Thank you, sis. God bless you.
Thank you.
That's okay. Okay, God bless.
Okay, can you put your hands up wherever you are? And in terms of the multiple streams of income, please, you don't want to miss next month. Let me just say this. There's a lady in Chatham, almost everybody will probably know her, Vogue Clothier. We all know her. She is fantastic. She's an entrepreneur. She goes up and above the line of duty. But guess what? She came to my place on Sunday and she was like, sis, she gave me this, it's granite, but it's grinded, but with a bit of spice. We all call it kuli kuli. And she gave it to me and she said, oh, sis, I want you to try this. I want you to taste it. Tell me what you think. And I was looking at her and I said, sis, you're already a rich woman. Do you understand? But she was like, sis, I'm still looking for other means of income. And she was telling me the things that she had done. And honestly, in that conversation, she must have been in my house maybe 20 minutes or so, you know, encouraging her. I was like, I thought about it that if somebody who is already well known in doing our fabric business, you know, Australia and all that, wherever you are, she, in fact, if you see some people even know her, she is extremely known. And she's still trying to look at other means. I think she's even on the line, actually. She'll probably be laughing at me. So there is no excuse. There is no excuse. I've seen the rich, they don't say because I am rich, I think I've got enough. Do you understand? She doesn't say, oh, because that's Yemi Fando. Yemi, I need to contact you. Yeah, I understand now. Okay, so she doesn't say because I am, people, the rich, they don't say because I'm rich, I've got enough. Do you understand? They don't say I've got enough. They still look for other means. And what they try to do, like Satope says, is leave a legacy behind. They don't say because I'm rich, we've got enough, it will last us generations. No, they're still looking for means to make that income or to make that money to be doubled and doubled and doubled. Okay, so next month, I'm going to give a lot of, maybe should I say women, maybe the opportunity to discuss how they started their own journey. Maybe I'll just choose about 3 women, but the person next month will probably, you know, facilitate us into that. So Ronke, if I can have you, if you can just unmute yourself quickly, please. Thank you.
Yeah, it's okay. Good evening, everyone. No, I was just saying that, you know, I think because you were talking about generosity. So I was saying that, you know, I don't know, I'm sure maybe not a lot of people, but you would have heard of CAF, which is Charities Aid Foundation. And also, obviously, you can give to charity using your Give As You Earn at work. So basically, whatever amount you're, let's say you're 40% tax person, when you give your charity, you save 40% on your tax, basically. So, you know, I was just saying that it's another way for you to kind of save. Even some churches, for example, that registered as a church, that way you can even end up giving more because you're saving that 40% extra on tax. And so your generosity kind of go a long way, but also you're saving if you needed to. So that's what I was saying in the chat. But also, sorry, can I just say one more thing? Because I know Sister Tokwa was talking about not going into debt, but it was just to clarify that there are good debt and there are bad debt.
Oh, yeah.
Myself, yeah. No, I know, I'm not saying, I'm just saying for myself, for people that might not be aware. For example, I remember when I went to school, you know, obviously in this school, going to school myself, trying to fund myself. And I remember student loan, I didn't want to take because I was like, I didn't want to go into debt, but I suffered there. So, but then that was a good debt I could have used at the time, right, to further myself. So, you know, there's some good debt, but I agree with you totally. I hate that debt as well. But like mortgages, it's just for people to know because people are like, I don't want to go into debt at all. And I am so guilty of that. But I'm learning that there are good ones and there are bad ones. I'm only saying for people that might be like myself.
Yeah. A mortgage is an investment. That's not a bad. That's not a bad debt.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ronke. And I like the fact that you said you didn't know before, but now you know, and that's what it's all about. Sometimes we didn't know something. I've learned so much as well in the course of all of this. So, Sister Young will probably be the last person. I've asked you to unmute. Afilaka.
Yes, thank you, Sister Ronke. Just wanted to add to what Sister Ronke said and Sister Bumi about maximizing the opportunity at workplace. Because I remember when my daughter used to be young and she goes to after school club, I used to pay via my my salary, directly from my salary. And what that does is, you know, simply what Starunke was talking about as well. So you save on tax and you basically save, because once that is done, then the 40% tax, your salary is reduced, which reduces your 40% or whatever percent tax you have. Yeah, child care
vouchers.
Yeah, child care vouchers.
Yeah, and there are so many things at our workplace, like Sister said, that we are not exploring. So if we're not exploring it, we can even go to our HR to ask from them, what are the possible things that I can, you know, I can tap into at workplace. For example, I have a child. For example, I paid this bill. What are the possible? Because if you don't ask, we don't know.
Yeah, you don't
That's
get.
so true.
That's it.
That's so true.
You know, while we're on the topic of saving through your payroll, pension. If your pension contribution from your employer is say 5%, you can double it. So you can double yours. You don't have to do the minimum. Do as much as, because you're minimizing your tax liability. You're reducing your tax liability, but then you're also saving more into your pension pot. So it's a win-win situation. So save a little bit more. I mean, put a little bit more into your pension so that you reduce what the taxman can get his hands on. That's another one.
Thank you so much. Someone says, if you're currently comfortably spending on something and you're no more doing so on a temporary basis, continue to put that money aside as if you are still paying it, to avoid spending that excess money in a way that you cannot account for. E.g., if you have been paying for school clubs, but your child no longer goes there because they are now at home or they are much older, what you can do is put that money into an account and do not touch it, because then later you can use it. I'll give you an example, to be honest. Recently, I needed about 1,000 something to pay for school fees. And I was just talking to my sister and I was like, hold on, is this tax money, this child tax thing? I've been putting that money aside, 243 maximum. And the money was 1,000 something. And I was like, it's true, this money is there. And then that was what I used. So these things are there and another thing I used recently at my workplace, I didn't even know was there, was I needed a laptop. And honestly, as I don't have a laptop, the house has a laptop, my husband, but I wanted my own thing. And I didn't realize that at work, they could buy, I think, whatever, up to a certain amount. And I don't have to pay any interest, basically. So they would just pay for it, and then they would take the money off my salary in 5 or 10 installments. So what it means is I don't have to pay interest. And what that means is that if I cannot afford the cash, at least it's there for me to use. So there's a lot of things. And investments, pensions is a very good one, because a lot of companies actually double or put 5% or 8% towards your pension. So we must use it. Somebody says property investment, very true. You can't go wrong with it. Up north, properties are cheaper to buy and to let. So that's another one. And I know a few people here actually who have properties, Manchester, Sheffield, up north, because they're cheaper. And another thing, just talking about properties before we go, is auction properties. That one as well is something that people can look into. There are lots of, you get properties for 75,000, 80,000 because it's been auctioned. So that's another thing. Someone says, is it good to leave your money in the bank or cash at home, or better to invest the money? I would say definitely invest, because investment means that the money is being used. And I think Sister Tokwe already mentioned that.
Yeah, so you need to always have an emergency pot, because your investment, you can't touch it for a fixed period of time, for a fixed amount of time rather. So you must make sure that you have a few months worth of emergency money, and then the rest you can go and lock away in an investment pot. Well, when we're talking about, I was just thinking, we need to talk more about our money mindset. I think we're talking more about the practical money way of making money. No, what about the mindset that underpins that? I think we should talk more. That's why the question is, what is your money script? What do you tell yourself when you're going out to do something, to spend money rather? So let's talk some more. Let's have some more comments, some more contribution or feedback on that. So yeah, saving. Do we do that? Do we save? And then we just, because savings don't generate much interest, it's investment that does. Do you spend above your means regularly, or maybe exceptionally, which is probably necessary sometimes to do for a season? So yeah, so let's think more about our personalities about money. Someone just messaged there about habits of saving, and we've talked about budgeting. Do we budget? Do we have anybody here who doesn't agree that we should budget? Let's see what the comments say.
Anyone? Just to add to that, I think because I'm seeing people put things on the chat, very true, you must do your due diligence. I'm just saying a disclaimer, so that all of this that we're talking about, obviously, you need to understand your own personal financial goal, and also to take an independent advice if necessary, because obviously we're not seeing your income, we're not seeing your expenditure. This is just generic. And also to say that no one has reached there. Whoever has reached there used to be a work in progress. And I will still say I'm a work in progress. I am a work in progress. I've not reached there yet, and I'm sure Statokwe has not reached there yet as well. We are all a work in progress. But the thing that we do is we are learning, and we are unlearning, and we are relearning. And I think that's why we're here. We're all here to learn, to unlearn, and to relearn, and also to share ideas.
Exactly. So it's so maybe more.
Anybody else? Otherwise,
what are our values, and how do we use the money as a tool, principle to fund those values, or to help us to attain them? So someone said, I save on budget but find myself spending a lot on food. It's how do I address my money mindset? So that's your money your money and food mindset colliding, right? So what do you mean by you spend a lot on food? Do you mean that, because some people have the mindset, this lady that I shared a story that she had gotten herself into tens of thousands worth of debt. She said she used to only buy bread from what's this store that is affiliated with Marks and Spencer? Oh no, Marks and Spencer. What's that one? C, Ocado. She would only buy from Marks and Spencer or Ocado. Yeah. And she would not buy bread from Sainsbury's. Why would she shop in Sainsbury's? I kid you not. When she got into her debt management mindset, she said she wouldn't even buy in the daytime. She will go just before they close, when they've marked everything down, and then she'll buy lots of loaves of bread and bottles of milk and freeze them. And that's how she was able to get herself not only out of debt, she was able to buy her counter property, obviously at that reduced price, cash. She didn't need to get a mortgage. She got help from her mom. She didn't get a mortgage. Then she sold it for £200,000 a few years later. £200,000 profit a few years. So someone who was in debt within 7 years, 40,000, now she's sitting on £260 property, no, 260K property, no mortgage. Why? She changed her mindset. I mean, why would you restrict yourself? So that's what you have to think. Remember what one of the tips was, check your motives. When you say you're spending a lot on food, are you someone who would, how about someone say, I can only put Kellogg's in my cupboards, because some people have a habit of coming into your kitchen and open your cabinet and they go, ooh, Sainsbury's own value baked beans. What does that matter to you? It's my kitchen, it's my cupboard, it's my stuff. Why should I? Because just in case Sister Bumi might want to open my cupboard, now I'm going to go and pay more than I would like.
Kellogg tastes better though. I need to say that. I love cereal.
No, where there's taste. See, that's the thing. Where
it's
there's
your
a
motive,
reason,
really.
Yeah. Where there's a reason, there's a taste. If you didn't even bother and you just said, I'm only paying for brand names.
Mercy.
Brand names, then you don't even know whether what you're getting is the best value, because you've restricted yourself. It's like something, I only wear brand labels, premium brands, only eat premium brands. Okay, that's fine, as long as you can say, because it tastes better. You have to pay for what you enjoy. But if you're just paying for it because of the name, check your motive. Okay, yeah. So it's all about the mindset, isn't it?
I'll tell you what I do with my cereal. I love Kellogg's. So what I do is, to be honest, I buy cornflakes, which is Kellogg's, and then I buy supermarket brand frosted flakes and all that. Then I mix it together, and that does the job. Simple. I love cereal a lot. I love cereal. So yeah, that's what I do. I use that.
I call myself an equal opportunity shopper. My loyalty is to my purse, not to the store or the bank or anyone else or utility company. I work for that money. So yes, you're right. If I want to buy a 1 pound loaf bread here and a 10p bottle of milk here, balancing. It's all about balancing. As long as I like the taste, because why would I punish myself and go and spend 10p when I know I'm only going to throw up? Do you know what I mean? Whereas the loaf of bread, maybe it's the same taste. When I put it in the toaster, get it out, maybe it's the same taste. I don't know. So those are the things that you want to ask yourself. To the sister who was asking about, how do you work that mindset? How do you fix that?
Okay, so I think on the food one, I think one of the things that I can advise is if you do a food planner, that works so well. That helps with a lot of budgeting. So I think somebody, for me, let me just say this. If my stew was about to finish, I don't throw it away. I use it as an opportunity to make beans. Do you understand? So it's about to finish. I just invent something else that I can use out of it. And then I will just like channel it into something else. Or maybe I can make yam porridge. I'll just, whatever is left. So if I had, maybe I made tuna and sweet corn, and there was still corn, I could make beans and then use the same corn that is remaining and use it as beans and sweet corn. So I just channel whatever needs to remain into something else. Maybe that's a way to work. If that works for you, then that's fine. So if you have a food planner, I don't do food planners, but I use it in my head. That's what I do. So maybe you can do that, and that would help. And on the insurance one is coming as well. But also just to say that if you go on my Facebook page or Instagram handle, you should see something for insurance on Sunday. One of us here is doing it already. So on Sunday, she's going to be talking about insurance. It was one of the things we're even talking about before Sister Tokwe joined. So the spirit is actually one. She was telling us how, how people don't write wills, which is leading to another money series, which we're going to be looking at. But on Sunday, she's doing that. Also your social circle is your wealth as well. So there are lots of things in money series we're going to be talking about. And it all stems up from knowing who you are, understanding yourself, knowing yourself. What are the mindsets? What are the beliefs that you carry? There are some that have been rubbed off on us as we get older through our experiences and through parenting skills from our parents. We pick them up. Some is even through our friend circles. We don't even know that we have them, and, people just put that on. Then also your health is very important. There is no way you want to spend all of this money without a good health. Okay. And I know a lot of us here, we are probably going to 40 or 40 and above. I think that's the age range, because I have a spreadsheet to see our age ranges. So a lot of us, so one of us as well tomorrow is doing, now that I'm 40, or if you're going to be 40, what next about my health? So she's put together a lot of health practitioners who have come together to be able to talk to us. I love to collaborate with people. So this is there. So anything at all that anybody wants to share in 5 minutes before we go, we're going to pray. And there's Mothers Unite tomorrow as well. Prayers for your children. There's the Modern Praying Woman as well is there. Whatever you want, please just go to I love to share events. Get stuck on my WhatsApp status. I think a lot of people, they tell me that. So there's a lot of events coming up. There are lots of things that you can just pick the one that is good for you. I feel prayer is good for everyone. So pick the one that is good for you. If you live in Medway, there is a women breakfast tomorrow in line for Mother's Day in Strood. That's my local church, Awakening Church. Reach out to me if you live in Medway and you want to come. Don't come because it's free breakfast. Come so
What's the topic? What's the topic? What's the theme?
The topic is free to be me. Free to be me. There is freedom in Christ. It's free to be me. So we're going to be talking about, how we can be free to be. Our sister Topai here, she's from my church. So you'll see her tomorrow. If you live in Medway, just, reach out to me. It's 10 to 12, I think it is. And we're very good with times. Okay. Anybody else? Shout out to Sister Bola Monsuro. Good to see you. First time, I think, on. Stanike as well. Thank you so much. First time. And all the first timers from Ilola, I appreciate you. Every first timer, thank you so much for joining. There's Mothers Unite as well tomorrow for praying for our children and generations to come in the evening tomorrow. That is there as well. So please, let's all come together. And I just want to say thank you all for coming. Thank you for consistently coming. Thank you for staying till the end. Invite somebody again next month when you're coming so that we can all come here and enjoy ourselves together. I'm going to call on someone to pray for us. Hopefully, she'll be able to unmute herself and pray. Stefanke, can you pray? That would do. If you can unmute yourself, I'm not sure. Are you chanced? Funke D. Or should I call someone else? Can you unmute?
Now I can. I couldn't before. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that, Sister Tope. I'm really, really blessed. And thank you, Sister Bumi, for putting this together. Can we pray? Everlasting Father, eternal rock of ages, King of kings, almighty God, we exalt your name. Father, we bless your holy name. Lord, we thank you for the wonderful time together this evening. Thank you for insight. Thank you for revelation, oh Lord. Father, we thank you for this beautiful experience. Thank you for the grace to begin to implement some of those things that we haven't been implementing before. Thank you for the wisdom, oh Lord. Thank you for opening our eyes to the opportunities in front of us. Thank you for the gifts upon your daughter that ministered to us tonight. Father, Lord, accept our thanks and praises in the name of Jesus. Lord, we pray that as we depart tonight, let your grace continually be upon us. Be with us, preserve us all, be our strength, be our rock. And Father, Lord, we pray that by the time we all gather again next month, we would have seen lots of transformation in our mindset, in our finances, and in every area of our lives, all to the glory and honor of your holy name. Lord, we give you glory. We ask, Lord, that your hands of protection will rest upon each and every one of us. Preserve us from every noisome pestilence. We soak us all in the precious blood of Jesus. Lord, we thank you. We worship you, for we know that all is well. And in Jesus' mighty name, we have prayed.
Amen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We really appreciate you for coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Without you guys, there's no pass the baton, to be honest, because we can't talk to ourselves. So I really appreciate you. Thank you for the prayers. Thank you for the support. God will richly bless you and have a very great weekend. Actually, happy Mother's Day in advance to everyone of you as well. Mother's Day, yay, we're shouting out.
Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day.
Thank you, Sister Zokpa. Thank you,
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you so
Have a
much,
blessed
everyone.
weekend.
Take care.
Thank
Bye.
Bye. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. God bless you. Thank you, Sister Moyeni. Thank you, Pastor Tayo. Thank you, Sister Victoria's Faith. Thank you, Yemi. Thank you, Sister Inka. Thank you, Auntie Lola. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you so much, girl. Thank you. Thank you, Sister Inka. God bless you all. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Stop recording.